So one of the main ways in which we actually intake listening to people speak, other than one-on-one conversation or being in groups, is listening to music. And different genres of music, obviously, are built around, different types of music, the instruments and the beats, but also the words they use. And so I'm mostly talking to people who are interested in music in general, and B, sort of music's impact on the listeners who listen to specific genres of music. The main points of data I would use would be interviews with people who both listen to music and perform music, and just ask them questions such as what words they use for generic terms such as house words, like nouns such as house, food, and so on. Very colloquial, generic terms. I'd also survey where the interviewees are coming from, and that there are vast linguistics variances between, city to city, block to block, state to state, and so on. And so, maybe a rapper from Atlanta and a country singer from Texas have much different ways of forming their sentences, whether it be the words themselves or the overall structure, just sort of to figure out what and if there is a difference. The main way I present my data would mostly just be sort of using the hypothesis that people, generally speaking, use words that are used in the music they listen to more often, i.e., if in rap music the word crib is used for house, maybe somebody who listens to rap music more often is more likely to use the word crib instead of house. And so my goal is to find how the music somebody listens to is able to affect the way they speak and the words they choose. And so I'm going to use the surveys I have with them to use their individual word decisions and their opinions on it to decide whether or not music affects their own personal speech patterns. I'm going to cite various studies online about the different words that are used. Specifically, most of the articles I found have been about rap and hip-hop music because as that is my main interest in terms of music, that is going to be the main one on which I'm going to focus. I'm also going to directly contrast it with other genres. So there'll be a focus, but I'm going to directly contrast it with other genres. I think the main reason this topic would appeal to a lot of people is primarily because, almost everybody likes music, and music has been a very large part of almost every culture throughout modern history. And especially these days, there's so many different genres that are, there are fusions of genres, and it's become very specific to the area in which you live in. And so I sort of want to delve into how music shapes both our social and linguistic culture via how it shapes how we speak, given that language and culture have such a direct correlation. One of the main things that inspired me here in terms of the methodology that I'm going to adopt is there was a test that we took earlier this year, or that was on GotchaSpace earlier this quarter, in which it would ask you, which term do you use for a specific idea, and it would try to place, where you're from based on the word that you chose. And so I thought that was very interesting, and I sort of want to adopt that to mix that with music and culture in general, because it can be so specific to location. Whether you have trap music in Atlanta, or the hyphy movement in the Bay Area, or West Coast rap versus East Coast rap, there's so many different genres based solely on location that I can't help but think that the linguistic differences between locations have a very large relationship with the geographic difference as well.